get the maximum budget for next turn, I need to have a prestige of 1875. So there's a lot of work to do. Okay. So now we have our mission control center built. We can start hiring some mission controllers. As you can see, by clicking on it, it says no employees are available, and it will automatically redirect me to the screen where I can hire them. So again, for the mission controls people, they all have again have 5 different skills, just like the scientists. Of course, there's different ones because these ones are specific to the mission control stuff. So you have specialists for propulsion, for trajectories, for the spacecraft system, for the crew and the payloads, and for mission operations in general. And all of these can change the odds of being able to fix an issue in mid-flight or not. So high skills are very important. So we're going to start hiring them as fast as possible, so that perhaps we can send them to some advanced training as well. We're going to pick some guys who are capable in the different things, and we're going to start training them. You look capable. Not too motivated. Well, let's try it. Let's take the gamble. So we're going to hire the recruits, and they'll be going into training. As you can see, they're now in basic training for 2 seasons. After that, they will be available for either missions or advanced trainings. Meanwhile, our programs are still being developed, and some of our buildings are still being built, so we're going to press end turn or end season. Right, this is progressing well. As you can see, we are over 35% here, and with our space plane, we're reaching the 40 almost. Right. So no news from the Soviet side this time. They're probably training up their crew just as I am, and researching their stuff. Some of the 2 researchers we hired earlier are now ready from their basic training, so they're ready for assignments. So I have to choose whether to move them up directly to the programs or give them some advanced training. Here you can see the guys we hired for our mission control, and our remaining remaining buildings have been built. So we have our vehicle assembly here and our astronaut center here. Because we're developing the space plane, it's good to start hiring some astronauts as well, since they'll be flying the plane in question. Right, so this one, I'm gonna take a couple. In this case, 2 for now. There's always the chance that they failed their basic training and they have to redo it. And of course, there's always the chance of an accident, in which case you don't want to wait until you have an entire new astronaut retrained. So it's always good to have a backup. Let's go for you, Ernest. Astronaut training takes a bit longer than the training for the scientists or for the mission control leaders. As you can see, it takes 4 seasons or 1 year. So this will take some time indeed. Now we're gonna assign the 2 scientists we just hired to see if they can do anything useful. So we're gonna go to our manage programs. So we have Benjamin Forsythe, who has 55% in crewed spacecraft, and we have Jason Falcon, who has 50%. I'm gonna assign Jason Falcon though, and not Benjamin, because I need Benjamin to start working on the rocket. Right, so these two are going to continue to develop the space plane, and now I'm going to open my rocket program. Because as you remember, for our Explorer one, we have the question mark here, like what is the booster that will bring this into the air. And here we can choose for the rockets that are able to do so. Some of these are in red because my current vehicle assembly building is not capable yet of building rockets on this scale. So I'm going to start off small with the Jupiter C booster rockets. So we're going to open the rocket program for $1,710, and we're going to assign some people to it. Benjamin and Malik Darling. Right, with that we're going to end the season for now. And as you can see, the rocket has now been added to the mission component detail screen. So that one's progressing through decently. And the guy we sent to advanced training has finished, which is here. Dalton Myers. He has improved his knowledge of space probes. Not as much as I'd hope, but still, it's a welcome change actually. So we're gonna assign him to a project, to the space probe project, which is the Explorer. It should speed up the development of this one. I'm gonna get you off here. I'm gonna let you assist here to speed that up. And with that, we're gonna end our turn for now. So our space plane is doing well. I might actually start focusing on this one to get the space plane off the ground as soon as possible. Polar Motion notes that there's lots of programs available in the game. Yes, there really are. I mean, I can't show all of them, unfortunately, but just within the Earth programs we have these different categories, and for each category you have a number of different programs, and for each program you have a number of different missions. In this case 2, but it can also be 4 or anything in between. Right, so I'm gonna focus the spaceplane research for now and see if I can hasten that into the air. So I'm gonna remove you from the other program, and we're gonna assign you to our spaceplane. So who are the best here? You're 52, so you should be leading the project. So now if our best guys on the spaceplane, it will hopefully speed up enough. As you can see, the projected improvement is now 11.9%. So in a couple of turns we should be able to go into space. I want to have it at least at 80%. Also, our astronauts are still in basic training, so we'll have to wait for that anyway. I'm gonna assign you again. Right, and going back, I'm going to press the end turn and see if the Soviets have been up to anything. As you can see, we've been over a year, so we're going to see the reliability history in a graph, which is pretty cool. For this one, there's not enough data, but you can quickly see like how fast it's improving, and this one's doing very well. So in half a year, we're going to launch this one. Increased public interest in the space program has given you a boost of 12 prestige points. That is very welcome indeed. Our mission controllers are ready from training, by the way, so they're ready and waiting for their mission. I'm not going to send them to advanced training because that will delay the space program, the spaceplane flight. because our astronauts are coming back in one season, so then we can hopefully schedule the mission. So with that said, there's not a lot to do for this moment. We want everyone to get ready and stand by. And now we have reached above the 80%, which I'm very happy with. And meanwhile, our other our Explorer 1 project is also doing well, so we should be able to get that one soon. And both our astronauts graduated from basic training. This is very good and very welcome. Right, so we have our astronauts, we have our mission controllers at the ready, and we have our program, our reliability high enough. So if we ask an assessment here, it's the advisor says, I believe it's safe to launch the mission. So that's what we're going to do. And we're going to first launch the flight test. If that's successful, we're going to try some of the experimental flights as well, which are longer missions. So we're going to schedule the mission here, and we're going to start assembling it. Now we're going to assign the mission controllers to it. So I'm going to just assign the guys with the highest stats for each to do the best job possible. As you can see, the skills aren't that high at the moment. They're unexperienced, they're relatively untrained. Hopefully after a couple of successful missions and some advanced trainings, their skills will go up quickly. So we're going to confirm the assignments. Now we're going to choose the pilot for the space plane, and in this case Frank Simmons is supposed to be the best one. So we're going to select him, and we're going to confirm, and we're assembling the mission. So if we now go here, we can see we have the mission scheduled, and we have a duration of 1 season. There's an 82.5% chance of success, which is actually still a huge risk, I would say. It's not something you usually want to risk human lives with. We've got the mission component set, we've got the flight controller set, and we got the flight crew set. So next turn we're ready to go. Meanwhile, we got one flight controller who's not doing anything, as this mission only requires 4. So we're going to send him to advanced training. And off we go. So our space plane is still being developed. We're gonna get our scientists off there now and get them to a different project to boost them up, especially the rocket needs some help. Needs a boost, I would say, sorry for the bad pun. And we're ready to launch our mission now, the flight test of our X-15 space plane. We've got a prestige of 250 if we succeed, but a minus of 263 if we fail. This doesn't sound like a very good deal, actually. Godspeed. Let's go. And we're going to monitor for mission control, of course. To those of you who have been with us in the early access version, you'll see some modifications to this screen as well. I'm really cool with them, actually. I really like them, and it really adds to the immersion. Right, thanks Trublin. Let's hope that everything goes well. Right, so far so good. And we have an issue with a low chance of success. Flight controllers are working to fix it, and I feel like I dodged a bullet there with my flight controllers. This is really part of the risk when sending them to these important missions without proper training. Right, and a second issue during landing. Oh gosh. Right, okay, I'm probably the luckiest guy in the world here tonight. Or at least the astronaut is. I mean, it's only my career on the line, but his life, of course. So we have a successful mission, somewhat unexpectedly, and we have 250%